Hey everyone, I take a few minutes to talk about a couple questions that you should have lined up for your lenders as you go around and start your home buying process. But first, I do want to introduce myself. My name is Alex Nunez. I've been in Alaska all 26 years of my life. I've been lucky to spend all 3 of my years in real estate with Alaskan Performance Partners. I've enjoyed just about every minute of it. I did just get engaged recently, so pretty excited about that. And a couple hobbies that I do really enjoy are I'm a really big sports enthusiast, and I love the outdoors. So Alaska's my perfect place, and it's my playground pretty much. But let's get right into it. So the first question that I would say you should have lined up for your lender is how much you should have saved for a down payment. This, I'm going to compare it to the two most common loans types that I see, which is FHA and conventional, because both of them do differ in how much you need for a down payment. For an FHA loan, your approval credit score that you're looking at is in the high 500s, so I'd say about 580 or so. Your down payment for that is normally 3.5%, and the only drawback to an FHA loan is that if you do your down payment of 3.5%, the minimum, you end up getting tagged with mortgage insurance for the life of the loan. As opposed to a conventional loan, where your down payment can be anywhere between 3 to 5%, depending on which type of conventional loan you get. This one has a little bit higher of approval in credit score, so it's about 620. I'd say it could totally depend. It can change around on that. But the nice thing about a conventional loan is that once you pay off 20% of the loan, you no longer have to pay for the mortgage insurance. So for the life of the loan, if you get a 30-year loan, it ends up saving you a lot of money over time if you can, do a conventional loan. But those are the two main types. So anywhere between, if it's a conventional, 3 to 5%. If it's an FHA, 3.5%. Those are your minimum down payments that you're looking at. As for the next question you should have lined up is, what are your closing costs going to be? Closing costs change depending on, where you're buying, what type of house you're buying, your loan that you get and all that stuff. I mean, it all depends on a lot of things. But the most basic rule of thumb that I like to think is 4%. I've seen it go lower, I've seen it go higher, but generally 4% is what you're looking at for closing costs, and this is an accumulation of origination fees, of title doc prep fees, and attorney fees, and a lot of other things that come together, but about 4% is what I'd say, just to be on the safer side. You'd want to end up saving more than not having enough at the end of the day, so normally I say about 4%. So when you end up combining this and your down payment, generally, when you're looking at a house, you're wanting to have about 7% set aside for it. So 3 to 5% for the down payment and about 4% for the closing costs. So, around 7 to 8% is a better number that you want to have saved aside for all of those fees and stuff like that. As for the last question that I wanted to address is, when you go to a lender, is what interest rate can you give me? So right now, interest rates are really hot. The market's really hot, and they're at an extremely low of about 2.8 as of today when I looked at it. Interest rates vary depending on your credit to debt ratio and your credit score, and among other things that they look at. But at the end of the day, about 2.8 is lower. So, I mean, it could change depending, obviously, on if you have, higher debt, lower credit score, all this kind of stuff intermingles with it. But 2.8 right now is what you're looking at for them right now. And normally I recommend that you want to take and ask every lender what their interest rate is, because you can take this number and use it as your pretty much bargaining tool to go around and talk to different lenders. So normally I recommend you don't settle down with the first lender you talk to. You want to go look at other ones, because one might give you 2.8. One might give you 2.9, one might give you 3.0, one might give you 2.79. I mean, those numbers make a big difference, and obviously at the end of the day, you'd end up going with a 2.79. But you want to take these interest rates and go around and talk to different lenders and see what you can get. But that is one of the biggest questions that you want to ask is, what kind of interest rate can you give me? But yeah, otherwise, those are the 3 main questions that I thought were big ones that you could go over with your lender when you start your home buying process. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. I'm here for any real estate needs that you need. My number is 907-748-7995. I'm available just about every day, so feel free to give me a call if you have any questions at all. Thanks.